Mr. Weeks, are you going to be handling this case today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, good afternoon.
Hold on one moment. Hold on.
Sure.
I believe there's other attorneys from our office on their way right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. All right, I'll turn it off. Thank you. Okay, is everyone ready to proceed? Okay, you're going to have to unmute the button. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're in first appearance court. We're going to call a case at a turn today, State versus Nicholas Jacob Cruz. Counsel for Mr. Cruz and the state can... Okay. So it didn't record at all? All right, I'll start from the top. Turn this on and off again, maybe? Okay, there we go. All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You are in first appearance magistrate court. We're going to call a case at a turn, State versus Nicholas Joseph Cruz. Counsel for the state and Mr. Cruz, can you announce your appearance for the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Sherry Tate on behalf of the state of Florida.
Diane Cuddy on behalf of Mr. Cruz.
Okay. All right, Mr. Cruz, you are here today. There is a capious ad charge, grand jury indictment, charges 18 through 34 for attempted murder in the first degree. State?
Yes, Your Honor. On the date of March 7, 2018, a grand jury had been convened and found probable cause to indict Nicholas Jacob Cruz. In addition to the first 17 counts of murder in the first degree, they also found probable cause to indict Nicholas Jacob Cruz for counts 18 through 34 of attempted murder in the first degree by going to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Broward County, Florida on February 14, 2018 with a loaded firearm, and by shooting the firearm, discharging it in towards the victims and striking some of the victims listed in counts 18 through 34, thereby committing attempted murder in the first degree, and was signed off by Circuit Court Judge Martin Fine, finding probable cause and issuing no bond on all 34 counts.
Okay, so state, what are you seeking today?
The state is seeking the no bond hold to be continued on all counts 1 through 34.
Okay, and defense?
Your Honor, we have no argument as to bond at this time.
Okay, is the state seeking a finding of proof evident presumption great?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Cruz, I've reviewed the grand jury indictment and other documents in your case, and I find probable cause. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident, or the presumption great. Therefore, you're going to be held without bond until further order of the court. This order is without prejudice for you, Mr. Cruz, to file a motion to set bond with the assigned division judge and request a hearing under State v. Arthur. Does anybody have anything else the court needs to address today?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, we would only again invoke his right to remain silent.
Okay, so noted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. Okay.
She's on page 2 of the
Okay,
docket.
so let me just tell everybody.
Sure.
Good afternoon, because everybody else didn't get the benefit.
Right.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're in first appearance magistrate court. Today you're going to be informed of the charges, and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. A public defender is at the main jail. We have Mr. Romero and we have Mr. Reedy, who's also a public defender here in the courtroom with me. If you have a private attorney, please let me know when you step up to the podium. All right, so which case would the jail like to, who is it, Paul Ryan? You
Paul
said?
Ryan, Your Honor, and it's Kiera Johnson on page 2.
Two.
Back to visit us again.
Okay. Nika Johnson. Okay, she's the second Johnson in the docket. Okay. Okay, Kiera Sanquinese Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor,
What's going on here? Is
what
this an
happened
ad
was
charge?
Detective Martin ad charged her. I think there was some confusion, so count 4 was duplicative of the count that Your Honor found PC for this morning, so that could be no PC ROR because it's duplicative.
Okay, so 4 is no PC ROR. Go ahead.
And Your Honor, just so that, to avoid any potential confusion, would the court mind writing duplicative next to it, just so
Next to what? 4?
where you found no, where you the finding no PC or next to the count?
Duplicative. You're talking about count 4, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to write a note on the bottom. Count 4 is duplicative.
It's count 1 of count 1 of what you found PC.
Whatever you want to,
I'm just making a record, Your Honor, in case someone wants to pull a transfer.
count 1 from, today's the 9th, right? 3918 AM docket.
That works.
Okay, so this is just,
Yes, count on charge
because
number.
this is count 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, Your Honor. Charge 3, the state is going to be asking the court to find probable cause for attempted possession of a firearm by a convicted felon of another state. And we're relying
Okay,
upon.
hold on. Attempted possession of a firearm by,
Well, it is the count. It's just attempt.
I want to rewrite it.
Okay. Attempted possession of firearm
By,
by a out-of-state convicted felon.
okay, so that's really number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And 5 remains the same, right?
Assuming the court finds probable cause. It's an additional count of a 94806 violation. The court finding PC on that is dependent on whether the court finds PC on count 3.
Okay, so that's not the out-of-state one that we did earlier.
No, it is, but what happens is, Your Honor, if I may,
Sure.
when someone gets charged with a 94806 violation, every time there's an allegation of a new law offense,
They get another violation.
exactly.
I understand it's another, okay.
So it's really dependent on whether the court finds PC on count 3.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Johnson, here's where we're at. You have ad charges. Count 3 is attempted possession of a firearm by an out-of-state, attempted possession of a firearm by an out-of-state convicted felon. We have to talk about probable cause and bond. And then we have count 4, the court, which is a missile into a dwelling, vehicle, building, or aircraft. The court's going to find no PC and ROR, that's duplicative of count 1 from the March 9, 2018 AM docket. And then we have count 5, which is a probation or community, it's actually a probation violation, and that's pursuant to Florida Statute 948.06. So, any objection to probable cause to count 3? And we're just talking about 3 now. The door's open, Will. I don't know who's there. You can go. Come on in. You can come in. Hello. How are you? Which case are you here on? Ricker? Spell the last name? Ramcharan? Okay, can you look for that here, Michelle?
Yes, it's a domestic, which I imagine will also be on tomorrow's docket. Yeah, let me check, Ron. That's a good point.
You know, if you go to the beginning of the docket, you'll see Judge McHugh's and Judge Cohen's stuff. Might be on tomorrow's docket,
This morning's docket right now to check.
and it would be here. Starts at 8:30. 24 hours, 365 days a year we're here. RAMC. Oh,
She
okay.
wasn't on this morning's docket.
What's the first name? Did we hear her already, or? Oh, so did it go before Judge McHugh today, or? Next
I
week,
checked.
I think we're getting Judge McHugh's all week.
I didn't, I checked the docket. She was not on the docket, so I imagine tomorrow morning.
All right, so tomorrow morning, 8:30. Just keep in mind that they do the juveniles here and dependency cases Saturday morning. So it might not be exactly at 8:30, or it could be around that time, but I'd be here at 8:30 just to be safe, okay? All right. Good luck to you. Have a great day.
I have reviewed the statute, Judge. I do not have a probable cause argument to make on count
Okay.
3.
So the court's going to find probable cause over no objection by the defense of attempted possession of firearm by an out-of-state convicted felon. So, Mr. Linder?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $50,000 bond and the same conditions that you set this morning.
What were my bonds this morning? Honestly, I don't remember.
$250. Your Honor, and the other conditions. And Your Honor, just briefly, it's the same concerns I addressed this morning. As far as her priors, I advised the court of her priors. In particular, the most concerning is a prior that she was convicted and placed on probation, having a weapon on either school safety zone or school grounds.
Okay, so are you seeking a finding of probable cause on 5?
Yes, since the court has found probable cause on 3, I believe there is probable cause on count 5.
Okay, so the court's going to find probable cause on count 5. Do we need to reinstate what the conditions are again that we did this morning? Do we need to attach them to 3?
I would ask that they, only because these might end up as 2 different case numbers.
Okay, so let's start from the top. Miss Patrice, maybe you can tell me what they were again, if you wouldn't mind, since you seem to have a detailed accounting of it. And if you could say it a little slow, because I'm writing it.
No problem. She was to be placed on pretrial with a GPS monitor.
Okay,
level
so
2.
GPS level 2.
The defendant shall not own or possess any firearm, weapons, or ammo.
And Mr. Reedy, I'll let you comment on any of these if you want. I just
The
want to.
defendant shall have no contact with the victim's initials K, D as in Delta, D, B, that's Delta Bravo, and K, B.
B or V, I'm sorry, B as in Bravo?
Yes.
KB,
The first one was KD, that's Kilo Delta. The second is DB, Delta Bravo. The third one is KB, Kilo Bravo.
okay.
The defendant is not to return to the Broward Family Physicians
Okay,
located
hold on, no return to Broward Family Physicians.
2910.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
No problem.
29,
10
yes,
West Oakland Park Boulevard.
okay.
Suite A4 and 5.
Suite A4 and A5, okay.
No contact with any employee of the Broward Family Physician.
Oh, physician.
Yes.
It's employee or physician, that
Yes,
I
Your
remember.
Honor. Yeah.
I don't know if you have that on that, but that, if it doesn't. Is that it? All right, can I go through it again with you? No GPS, no GPS. GPS level 2. No owner possess any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. No contact with KD, DB, and KB. No return to Broward Family Physicians, 2910 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Suites A4 and 5. And that's Oakland Park, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
That I don't have down. Oakland Park, Florida. And no contact with any employee physicians with Broward Family Physicians. Is that it?
Yes, that's what I.
Okay. All right, let's be heard, let the defense be heard with regard to bond, and if they have an objection to any of these conditions that were set previously.
We have no objection to any of the conditions. I think the court has already imposed significant bonds on Ms. Johnson. She has 2 no bond holds and a $250,000 hold. I don't think she's going to be able to make that bond. So
God bless you.
whatever you want to do, I guess you're going to do. I maintain my objection to probable cause that was made this morning on the attempt to shoot into a building. I don't know, Judge. You know, it doesn't really matter. Ms. Johnson, how much money have you got? You got $250,000?
No, man, they know that. That's why they set it that high, man.
I know.
Yeah, it's all good. God
So-
sit high, he look low.
Okay, you hang in there, Ms. Johnson.
All right, so
I'd ask for a
y'all come see me.
$10,000 bond, Judge.
Y'all come see me, man. All right.
Okay, court's gonna set her bond on count 3 at $50,000. No PC ROR on 4 and no bond on 5.
And the court wants me to write an order for that one, correct?
Pardon?
You want an order for count 2, yeah?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I should prepare an order for count 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, it wouldn't really make a difference. It wouldn't really make a difference because I can't make the bond. But yesterday, you know, from the paperwork that you was reading, that Georgia not extraditing. So why would I have a bond for a probation hold? Why would I have a hold on the probation?
Okay, I'm gonna ask commitment that, okay, ma'am? Hold on,
All right.
because they're talking
Okay,
to
thanks.
somebody. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
If I may first, because I did actually speak with the probation officer in Georgia.
Okay, the state attorney is gonna answer your question, okay? Go
All right.
ahead, Mr. Linder.
As far as not being extraditable, that wouldn't apply necessarily to this situation, because that applies when there's a warrant already in place. There wasn't any warrant in place because Georgia wasn't even aware of this alleged incident. The probation officer I spoke to
In where?
in
Here?
Georgia,
Okay.
in Georgia.
Just if you could specify.
I understand. She referred me to the, one moment, Judge. The Albany office of the Georgia probation, and referred me to a specific probation officer who I left a voicemail to, telling me, yes, she is on probation in Georgia. Even if, hypothetically speaking, the court found no probable cause for any new law offense, the mere allegation of attempting to buy a firearm would have been a violation of her probation. So now it's just going to be a matter of whether her probation officer decides to prepare a warrant or not, and
You
goes
mean
to
in violate her?
prepare a warrant, and for the judge, her judge in Georgia to sign a warrant or not. So I'm gonna be contacting Georgia. I know, BSO will be contacting Georgia also to bring this to their attention now that the court has found probable cause.
Okay, so is she being held no bond, though? How can she be held no bond?
Under Florida statute 94806, a warrant isn't required as long as the court finds probable cause for an
Okay, and I did find probable
Yeah.
cause, but how can I find it for a warrant a probation out of Georgia? Are you saying because it's here?
Yes, that's why, Your Honor, I jumped a step. She had her probation transferred to South Florida. She was being supervised.
Okay, I get that.
By a probation officer in Broward. But for any violations, it has to be handled, obviously, by Georgia.
Okay. All right.
And they already informed you all that there wasn't extraditing. So, and I've spoken to Georgia probation as well, in Doherty County and Sumter County, because I'm on probation in 2 cities in Georgia, and I was told that they're not extraditing. So, I shouldn't have a hold for probation if I'm not being extradited.
Again, anything she's referring to, it would not have to do with these new allegations because Georgia wasn't even aware of them when these conversations were had.
What you're saying is they may change their mind and decide to extradite her now that they know about these new charges?
It's not changing their mind. I don't know what the reason was, because keep in mind, she had a disorderly conduct that she pled out. For all I know, that could have been brought to Georgia's attention. They said, you know what, we're not going to go through the expense of extraditing her under VOP for disorderly conduct. They might have been advised, okay, she was picked up on a grand theft auto that's pending. Well, you know what, we're not going to do anything until we find out what happens on that case. I don't know what happened on those. All I know is...
Yeah, and I beat 50 charges in Miami, and they didn't extradite. So what difference would this make?
All I know is, Your Honor, is that Georgia, under Florida Statute 94806, Georgia has the opportunity to decide if they are going to have a warrant prepared or not.
Okay.
For instance, hypothetically, since there's, for all I know...
Okay, so it's up to Georgia, ma'am.
Got you.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome,
right,
ma'am.
bye-bye.
Good luck to you. No, I'm just reading it. I think there's something missing. I know that you have the firearms here. We need to put in the victim's initials. And I was just, huh? All right, as long as it has all my conditions here. That's what I was reading it from. Okay, that's fine. I don't know how you could read that, but I'll try to write harder. Okay, let me ask you, sir. Paul Ryan, what's your name? Let's just take him and let the deputy of Paul Ryan go.
Kuhn,
What is his name, deputy?
Kuhn, K-U-H-N, page
Do we know what page?
6, ma'am. You want
K-U-H-N. What's your first name, sir?
It's Kurt, K-U-R-T.
Okay. Let us find your paperwork, okay? All right,
Can I
Kurt.
say something?
Hold on one moment, sir, okay? Okay, so you're Kurt Kuhn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let me just tell you what you're charged with, and then we'll get to what you want to talk about. You have a capias not in custody. This is another charge, count 29, dealing in stolen property. It says 3,500, not for magistrate court. So can you tell me why this is on the docket? Is that a mistake? Sir, while they're looking, I'm going to talk to someone else. What case are you here on, sir? Okay, what's the how do you spell it? Okay, M-O-N-F-I-S.
It's like 40.
Okay, after this one, we'll call that one, okay? You're welcome.
What's your relationship to Mr. Marcus?
Present.
See what we can do. We got a pretty good review from pretrial
Okay,
release.
I
Mr.
think it's-
Reedy, Mr. Kuhn wanted to say something. Do you want to call him on the phone and ask him what he wanted to say before he says something?
Yeah, I can do that, Judge.
I think it's, anything that says not for magistrates, I think might be a mistake.
Okay, Mr. Kuhn, just if you could go to the phone there.
Yeah, Deputy, let me talk to Mr. Kuhn.
Said that it's gonna take a month. I spoke to him yesterday. He's doing SWAT training for 2 weeks. He's teaching it, I think, or something. So he said that they have to rewrite their program and everything, so. He was very nice. After this case, we're gonna take one more out of turn, Andre Omar Monfiston. Not for magistrate, you want me to remove? Want me to remove the not for magistrate?
I think it should be. It's a not in custody.
Okay, I just wanna make sure. Pardon? I don't get one, but I will. No, when we lease, they don't give me one. Take your time. I am waiting on you, but I want you to take your time. That's fine. We can be here till 5 o'clock. We can reset this if you want.
We're ready
We
to
can
proceed,
reset-
Judge.
We can reset it if you need more information.
No, it's kind of a strange situation because this case number is not coming up either on Odyssey or in BSO Picks. It shows a $3,500 bond. Mr. Kuhn indicated to me that he was in front of Judge Bailey earlier this month and was ROR'd on this charge. He does have some. He has a no bond hold for an out-of-county hold, and then he has bonds on counts 26, 27, 28.
So what happens when you pull up this case? It says ROR.
Doesn't say anything. The case doesn't come up.
Okay, so Mr. Linder, go ahead.
And Your Honor, okay, one, the reason I don't believe you can find an Odyssey yet in the public Odyssey is because it's not in custody, and those don't always get put public until the K piece is served. I can look, but I suspect.
So the K piece was served, obviously.
And that's why yes, Judge, that's why he's here today. I can check, but I suspect that Mr. Kuhn was not ROR'd in this case by Judge Bailey. I can understand how he may think that because, frankly, he's had a lot of his charges ROR'd by Judge Bailey, but he is also being held in Broward on $11,000 worth of bond on another case for burglary of a dwelling and grand theft between $300,000 and $10,000 from someone 65 years of age or older. He's got out-of-county holds from Dade and Palm Beach for charges burglary of a dwelling and grand theft, $12,000 total, and he has a no bond hold out of county for 2 counts of grand theft, 3rd degree, and possession of stolen credit cards. So since he has $11,000 worth of bond in Broward, a no bond hold out of county, which means he can't get out at this point, I'm going to be requesting that this $3,500 bond be kept in place, and if Judge Bailey decides that's appropriate to ROR, then you can take that action. He will have an arraignment, I would just imagine, very soon.
Well, considering the case doesn't even come up on Odyssey, I don't know when his court date is going to be.
Your Honor, the reason being is if they make it, the concern is if you make it available, then people who might want to avoid getting arrested could just go on and see, oh, look, I have a warrant for me and I'm not in custody.
He doesn't have a court date on his other charges until April 19th.
Okay, well, the court's gonna find probable cause unless I hear an objection, and
No, I don't have a probable cause objection. I'm just a little concerned that Mr. Kuhn seems to be teetering on the verge of falling through the cracks on this count. But I will keep an eye on it. All right, Mr. Kuhn, if there's a problem, I'll ask the court to set you down for a hearing next week in the afternoon someday, and we can get it cleared up. But I'm going to try and find out what's going on, okay?
Yeah, and I do have paperwork, if anything.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But you're not going anywhere right away anyway, so
Okay.
let's take a look at it and see what we got, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, man, take
all
care.
right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, Deputy, I think we're finished at Paul Ryan.
Yes, we are, Judge, thank you.
Okay, all right, so let's go back to Andre Omar Monfiston.
He's here, present, Judge at Maine. He's approaching. Come on up, sir.
Hey, come on up, sir. Mr. Monfiston, we have someone here with us today. Sir, can you state your first and last name and spell your last name for the court reporter?
First name is Chadwick. Last name is Monfiston. Monfis as in Sarah. Ton.
And your relationship to Mr. Monfiston?
Yes, my cousin.
Okay. All right, Mr. Monfiston, you're charged with 1 count, DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, $500 bond. Count 2 is DUI with damage to property or person of another, $1,000 bond. Count 3, DUI with an unlawful blood alcohol level greater than 0.15 or accompanied by a person younger than 18 years of age, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is basically an ROR. It's not for magistrate. It's careless driving, which is a traffic infraction. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so the total bond is $2,500. Does anybody wish to be heard?
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Monfiston, it's cousin, right? He indicated to me the family doesn't have a lot of money, that this is, to the best of his knowledge, Mr. Monfiston's first offense. I'd ask the court to consider pretrial release for Mr. Monfiston.
This is his first offense. I wouldn't have an objection to ROR, quite frankly, but that's up to the state.
I don't have an objection to an ROR. Even if it's his first offense, considering his very high breath results, that there was an accident involved, I think pretrial would be appropriate, that there's some level of supervision.
Okay, ROR, standard pretrial, this is what this means. He has to report, he's not gonna get out, in the next couple hours, probably gonna be 6 to 8 hours. He has to report to pretrial by Monday, because they're closed on the weekends. They'll give him the address and a map, Mr. Romero will give it to him. He has to report there by 3 p.m. It actually closes at 4. He's better off to go early in the morning. If he doesn't, then he's gonna be right back here again on a warrant. A capias is gonna be issued, okay? I'm gonna have him call in twice a week. He doesn't have to report in person after that. Report only one time, report the first time only in person. Okay? Let me just check his address. Sir, is your address 18461 Northwest 11th Place, Miami Gardens?
Yes.
Right, Madam Clerk, can you just check and make sure that that's his address? I'll give it right here. It's 18461. If you change your address, sir, it's your obligation to immediately notify the clerk of court in writing of your new address, because if you miss a court date, then you're gonna have a warrant issued. You can also go to browardclerk.org and check online, okay? Okay, so can you, just let me put clerk to update address on booking sheet? I'll write it on the front. Thank you for address. 18461 Northwest 11th Place. When do you think he'll be released? Can someone tell me confinement or pretrial? Since I'm putting him on standard pretrial, so I can just tell this gentleman he'll get a phone call?
He won't report today. When he
No,
gets,
not report, be released, where he'll get a phone call.
he'll have the opportunity to use the phone as soon as he's released. I couldn't tell you what time that would be. Likely gonna be on the next shift, but I couldn't tell you
And
what
the next
time.
shift is when?
The next shift starts at 3.
3 a.m.?
No, 3 p.m. The next shift starts at 3
Oh.
p.m.
I'm on Saturday time already. All right. All right, sir, so, just so that you might want to go home and wait for a phone call, okay? Let's check this. Pardon, sir? Can we get him back here?
Get him back, Joe?
Yeah, you want to know?
It's with Superior Towing.
Okay, hold on.
Do they take their keys, or they give them to them in the property? Does anybody know?
He's back.
No, it's my understanding the tow, I believe, well, I don't really know, but the car's with the
Okay,
tow
your
company.
cousin was asking about your car. He was thinking of going to pick up your car. It's from Superior. They're not gonna let you pick it up anyway.
I'm gonna check it, see how it goes.
I understand. All right, so it's Superior Towing. I don't know where they're located, but is that
I
the,
can't imagine they give you your keys back either, because that would
Yeah, I
defeat
know.
the purpose.
okay, so Superior Towing?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what it says in the report.
All right, sir. Just give your cousin a call. We'll pick you up when you get out, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I don't know why.
Anika Ashunda Johnson?
No problem, John.
Okay, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson? No problem. No problem. Sorry.
Anika, Miss. Okay, Anika Ashunda Johnson. How are you, ma'am?
Hang it in there.
Okay. You have count 1, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. We have to talk about bond. And then we have count 2, aggravated battery, knew or should have known the victim was pregnant. We got to talk about bond for that too. Any objection to probable cause? Okay, the court finds probable cause. State.
Ms. Johnson has a 2009 resisting with violence, resisting without violence. Your Honor, based on the allegations, the alleged use of a knife, and the victim's physical condition, I'd be requesting $5,000 bond on count one, $2,500 bond on count two, in order of no victim contact.
Ms. Johnson, are you going to be able to come up with any money to bond yourself out?
I really have no idea because they robbed my purse too. So they robbed my purse. I'm handicapped. It was like 15 just attacking me for no apparent reason. All I was trying to do is get away and get out.
So don't discuss the facts of your case, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, if you can work with me, you know.
Say
it
that
would be
again.
better.
With, okay, let's just go sidebar for a moment. All right, the court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect. That means, ma'am, you're not to call in person, social media, or anything like that, have any contact with the alleged victim in this case, who is initials are KT. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
No contact?
Yes, ma'am.
When are you going to have someone address it? Because, quite frankly, I was going to put her on some type of release.
Where would you stay, Ms. Johnson, if you were released? What's your address?
1231 Northwest 18th Avenue. That's where my dad lives.
Who do you live with?
My stepmother. I just have been home in a while. I was with, with, my friends, with them.
Stand at the,
now I don't think that would be improper.
do you understand if the judge releases you that you can't have any contact with any of the people involved in this case?
I will not do that.
Okay.
I don't want no dinner.
How long have you lived with your stepmother?
My stepmother? I've been there for some years now, but I've been in and out. Sometimes I go home to my mom. My mom lives in Orlando.
Would you be staying with your stepmother if you were released?
Yes, I will be going there, and they live in a different city from where this incident occurred at.
Are you getting any type of disability?
Yes, sir. I'm handicapped, which is I should never been targeted at. They tried to target me.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't you speak to her on the phone and we'll take a 2-minute break, okay? Quentin King. Is there a Quentin King?
Conti, Your Honor.
Okay.
Not here, Major.
ROR. Okay, Mr. King, you have retail theft, grand theft, resisting an officer, and committing theft. The defense filed a motion for ROR. There has not been a formal information filed, which means the state has not officially charged you yet. Are you correcting me? Yes.
Quentin King, I think we're just here on a.
Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong page. Thank you. All right, sir. You are charged with possession of cocaine. The defense filed a motion for ROR, which means to release you. The state has not filed formal charges yet, so that means you're going to be released ROR today on this case. If you have anything else holding you or any other bonds, that you're gonna have to deal with separately, but as far as this case is concerned, you're being ROR'd, which means outright release. That doesn't mean that the state can't file a charge against you, okay? So, good luck to you, sir. You're gonna be released today, if you don't have anything else pending. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Marlon Brown, the same thing?
Marlon Brown.
Okay, we're on Marlon Brown quickly, and then we'll go back to the lady. There's been an information.
No, it's Marlon Brown is a second look.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Is it gonna be a long one or a fast one? Should we go back to the other lady? Or,
It's on the phone, but, I mean,
oh. Okay, so pull up this case, Michelle.
Marlon Brown, is
Where
set
did
for
Miss Patrice
arraignment
go?
on March 13th.
Sorry, arraignment on March 13th?
Yes, just so you're aware.
Okay, thank you. Where is Miss Patrice? I didn't even see you change. Do you have this case? Can tell me if the writ of arrest have been satisfied?
showing in BSO pics that he's been sentenced. And at this point in time, his release date, they've been
Pardon?
satisfied? 'Cause I'm sure- Yeah, but
He actually has two of them.
He's been, from what
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. There was feedback here. Okay, so on 102, hold on, Eric. I'm asking a question. Just give me 1 second. So on 1 and 2, that is not an issue anymore. He's released on those, correct? Thank you. All right, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
it still shows expected release date August 21st, 2018.
All right, so we're on to Marlon Brown, second look, and then we're going to get back to the lady that you just hung up with. Mr. Brown has 2 writ of arrest, which confinement is advising me have been satisfied. Then he has count 3 and 4, uttering a false or fraudulent instrument, $1,000 bond, grand theft, $1,000 bond. So he just has, as far as I know, $3,000 in bond. Is there anything else he has pending? Can anybody advise a court, maybe? Is this the only case? All right.
You going to be able to make that bond, Mr. Brown?
No, sir.
You got anybody out there you can call?
No,
Anybody out there I can call for you?
not at this moment.
How long have you been living where you live now?
What was that?
How long have you been living where you live now?
I've been staying
Ms.
there
Patrice.
for like 20 years.
And who do you live with?
Ms. Patrice.
My mother,
And do you know the address?
This guy.
yes.
Okay.
It's 25.
Mr.
Okay, you don't
Just
need to
so the
tell
court
us.
is aware, we did verify his address.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
The trial did verify his address.
All right. Judge, I'd ask you to consider putting Mr. Brown on pretrial release with an ROR. We know his address. He's been living at that place for a very long time.
All right. Save yourself the trouble. Okay. State. He verified his address. I don't know if you're just looking or looking at something else, that's why I'm asking.
No, I'm looking at something regarding this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
See him?
Which one?
Does it tell his name?
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay, stand, we're gonna ROR you on counts 3, 4, and 5. Put you on standard pretrial release. What that means, sir, is when you get released from custody, you have to, they're gonna give you some paperwork, the deputy will give it now. You're gonna have to report there by Monday. And they close at 4 o'clock, which means you have to be there by 3 p.m. But if I were you, I'd get there early, because the earlier you get there, the quicker it'll be.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna have to report that first time, then you're gonna have to call in twice a week and report once a month, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck
Thank
to you.
you.
And sir, if you violate anything, get a new charge, your pretrial is gonna be revoked and you're gonna be right back here again. Okay?
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Have a nice.
You too. All right, so this, I'm gonna. All right, so let's go back to the lady at North Broward. This was Anika Johnson.
That's correct, Your Honor. I spoke with
Okay.
Ms. Johnson. My concerns about her medical condition were confirmed. She indicated to me that she has been living in the same house with her stepmother for a long period of time.
Okay,
She knows the address and she can go back there.
is that the 1231 address?
Is that the
You know?
1231 address, Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
I believe what she told me, it's been quite some time since she's had any contact with the criminal justice system. I'd ask the court to consider a pretrial release ROR. She gets disability, so she has no money to bond out.
Your Honor, under the rules of criminal procedure, because of what she's been charged with,
Thank you, have a great weekend. Or you work tomorrow, right? I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, what were you saying? A bond has to be set?
Your Honor, I understand, I know that there are mitigating factors regarding Ms. Johnson's health, but
There are.
there are also aggravating factors regarding the victim's health
I understand.
and her safety. And I would also note that there was a video of the incident that law enforcement viewed in investigating this matter. I do believe a combination sum bond is appropriate based on charges with this level of violence.
Judge, the unfortunate thing is she gets disability because of her medical condition. She doesn't have any money. Any financial obligations that she would incur due to bond would be tantamount to no bond. You can put a monitor on her, Judge.
And, Your Honor, it's not, setting a bond isn't in and of itself, just because, and there's case law on this, because the defendant says they can't afford it, doesn't make it tantamount to no bond. It has to be so egregious, so unreasonable, in light of all the circumstances, not just financial condition, to be found tantamount to no bond.
She doesn't have anything. So I guess that's about as egregious as it gets.
And to say that she should be, then, under that rationale, anyone that doesn't have money can commit essentially any offense they want, and
I understand. I understand.
I know you do, Judge, but I have to make a record because,
That's fine, you can make it.
under that argument, anyone with no money can essentially commit any offense they want, and then the legal argument is, well, you have to release them because they can't afford a bond.
I understand that.
That's not my argument, and we're not talking about any other case. We're only talking about this case.
Okay, let me tell you what my concerns are and what I'm thinking. My concerns are, there's an allegation, and I don't want you to respond, ma'am, okay? There's an allegation that she tried to attack someone with a knife, but she's sitting in a wheelchair. So, and all it says is there's a video.
Right, which unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we don't have. I know that from what Ms. Johnson has told me, the actions attributed to her might have been extremely difficult for her to
Is she in a
perform.
wheelchair permanently, or?
She has trouble with her balance.
Okay, I'm gonna ROR her on both, but this is what I'm gonna do. She doesn't work?
No, ma'am.
Who's she gonna live with?
She's going to live with her stepmother, Judge, at the address she provided.
GPS level 1, no
Thank you,
weapons,
Judge.
firearms, weapons, no victim contact. Okay? That means, ma'am, basically you're gonna have house arrest, okay? Yes. You're welcome. Okay, anybody else? Let's see, Brenda Danzy,
North Broward.
North, Mr. Romero wants to,
No, I'm fine.
okay. I know, he wants to begin the weekend. Okay, are you Brenda Danzy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am. You're charged with 1 count, possession of alprazolam, Xanax, bond set at $1,000. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the court finds probable cause. Anybody want to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
I would, Judge. Ms. Danzy informs me that she's been living here in South Florida since she was 15. She has an extensive family here. She's hoping her brother will bond her out, but her brother's not able to do so right now. She's been living in the same location, the same place for her entire life. She receives disability, so she has no financial concerns, so no financial ability to post a $1,000 bond. I'd ask the court, in light of the fact that this is a nonviolent offense involving, what was it, 2 pills or 2 milligrams?
So what is it you're asking for?
I'm asking for ROR pretrial release, Judge. Oh, never mind.
Okay, good news. Your bond's been posted.
I withdraw my request.
Good luck to you, ma'am.
Okay, good luck, Brenda.
Okay, next one is Sandra Monique Fallis, and then we have, okay, thank you, Mr. Romero, Theo Phyllis Andrews.
Theus Phyllis Andrews bonded, Judge.
Okay, then the next one is William Allen.
North Broward.
William P. Allen.
North Broward. Medical research, Your Honor.
Okay. We have a medical reset. Thank you, Michelle. These are for the 2 that bonded. Okay, Jason Moyes, and then we have
Mr.
Jason.
Moyes bonded, Judge. Mr. Ashley, you're next. Come on up, please.
Thank you, Mr. Romero.
No problem, Judge.
Okay, and then we have Nathaniel Jackson after that. So Jason Ashley, you have 2 capious misdemeanors, operating without a valid DL in each one. Does he want to resolve these cases?
That is correct, Judge.
Okay, state. While he's doing that, let me have him raise his right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, state your first and last name.
Jason Ashley.
Ashley.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
State's offered to be adjudication time served on each case.
Okay, adjudication time served.
He wants to accept the state's offer, Judge.
He does?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Okay, sir, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial in both cases?
You wish to waive your right to a trial? Yes.
You don't want a trial, you want to plea no contest today, right?
Correct.
Is anyone forcing you to do this? Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to this charge could result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States, sir.
Understand.
Okay, understanding what I just explained to you, are you pleading no contest to no valid driver's license in each case?
Correct.
Okay, the court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. The court is has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. The court is going to impose $293 in court costs. Court will just do it on count one. Court will give you 1 year to pay. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence to the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you.
Good luck, sir. You're on.
Next one is Nathaniel
Nathaniel
LaQueen Jackson.
He's approaching, Judge.
And then we have Rodney Eugene Vincent. Hello.
Hello.
You have petty theft, first degree property between $100 and $300. Does he want to resolve this today?
He does, Judge.
Is this eligible to be resolved, Mr. Linder?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's offer, this is on Nathaniel Jackson. State's
This
offer,
is, yes, Nathaniel Jackson.
state's offer would be a withhold, court cost, judicial notice, time served. No return to this particular Home Depot.
Okay, can you give me the address while I'm writing it down?
Of course.
Sure.
1000 Northeast 4th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale.
Is that the one here by the courthouse on Sunrise? I think so. Okay.
Judge, he wishes to accept the state's offer, Judge.
Okay. All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is your name Nathaniel Jackson, Jackson?
Yes.
It's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial?
What you mean about that?
You want to give up your right to a trial?
Yeah, we need to start with.
So let her know that I'm doing to a trial.
Yes.
Okay, are you, is anyone forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
Understanding what I just explained to you, are you pleading guilty or no contest to petty theft first degree?
No contact.
Okay, the court's going to accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. The court has reviewed the court file and finds probable cause for the plea. The court's going to withhold in court costs $293. The court will give him 1 year to pay. The court's going to take judicial notice of the time the Broward County Jail. There's no return to Home Depot, 1000 Northeast 4th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have 30 days to appeal the sentence to the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck to you. You're done with this case. Okay, next.
Your Honor, we had a case this morning,
Yes.
German Bugoslavsky,
Oh, yes.
and I just spoke with his attorney.
Yes.
His attorney is available to appear by phone. He's in and out of mediation hearings in Coral Gables all day,
Okay.
but he's available now.
I don't have that here. Let me see. Yes,
This
I do.
gentleman, sir, I believe he was on page 21 of the 25.
I have his Jermaine
Boguslavsky.
Boguslavsky. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have his attorney's number? Deaf anyway, so, okay. Wait until. We'll have to try him again.
You have reached the cell phone of Dennis Freeman. Please leave a detailed message and a phone number, and he'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. At the tone, please record your message.
Call your case in 1 moment, sir, okay? I left a message. See if you see this going on, you'll see it. All right, next case is Rodney Eugene Vinson, and then we have Nathaniel Osborne.
Mr. Vincent is here, present, Judge, at Maine. He is approaching.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Vinson. How are you?
All right, man.
Okay, good. You have count 1, possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, and counts 2 and 3 are just basically RORs. It's failure to obey police or fire department, and riding a bike with no light. Any objection to probable cause?
Based on Mr. Vincent's statement, no, Your Honor.
Okay, the court finds probable cause. Anybody want to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
Judge, I'm going to be asking Your Honor to consider releasing Mr. Vincent on standard pretrial release.
Okay, state any objection?
Yes, Your Honor. 2011, based on his criminal history, 2011 aggravated battery with a deadly weapon with a violation of probation, 4-year state prison as a habitual offender, 04 possession of cocaine with intent to sell or distribute, 5-year state prison, 04 robbery by sudden snatching, 5-year state prison as a habitual offender, theft 04, possession of cocaine, 98, 5-year state prison, 97, delivery of cocaine, and that was under an alias with a violation of probation, just over 5-year state prison, 94, burglary of a structure, possession of burglary tools, VOP, 42-month state prison, 89, robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon, armed burglary of a structure, 7-year state prison.
Okay, so his last contact with the system where he was arrested was 2011.
Yes, and then in 2013, after a VOP, he was sentenced to 4 years, so I'd have to see when he was released. It's not as though he's, you know, it was
No, I understand.
I know, just. Yeah, it would appear so, with 4 of those years of it being impossible.
Well, that's not true. He could get a new charge in crime. I mean, in jail.
He got out of state prison February 12th, 2017.
Where do you live, sir? 1932?
1932, ma'am.
Tap Street?
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you live there with?
My ex-girlfriend.
Your ex-girlfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you welcome to stay there as long as you want for now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if I release you on your on standard pretrial release, you know you have to call in twice a week.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to report in person by Monday by 3 p.m. because they're closed on the weekends, and you're not going to
Yes, ma'am.
get out in time for today to go
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know you're going to have to report 1 time a month.
Yes, ma'am.
You'd rather do that than pay $1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Judge. I'll give him the map.
And sir, if your address changes, just know that if you miss court, you're going to violate your pretrial. You have to give written notice to the clerk of the court in writing immediately. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
It's your
Yes, ma'am.
responsibility. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Good luck to you, sir. Nathaniel Osborne? Okay, Mr. Osborne, how are you today? Okay, well, I understand. Count 1 is burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. We got to talk about bond. And then we have count 2, possession of blank, fictitious, unlawfully issued driver's license. Bond is set at $1,000. Any objection to probable cause?
No objection to probable cause, Judge, but he's charged with reaching into the car and grabbing this fellow's keys. They were having an argument over some money. So while technically I suppose that is a burglary of a conveyance, I don't think it's the strongest burglary conveyance we've ever seen.
Okay.
That's whose keys it is.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, my concern is.
So what are you asking for bond?
$2,500 on count 1.
How much?
$2,500.
Any objection to $2,500 and $1,000 bond, $3,500 total?
Judge, we're gonna be asking for you to consider on third degree felony $1,000 on count one, along with the $1,000 on count two. That would be $2,000.
I'm fine with that as long as there's no victim contact, Your Honor.
Yeah, he has no
Your
problem
wish
with
is
that, Judge.
granted. $1,000 on each count, no victim contact, okay?
The only other request would you sign an order allowing him access to his phone so he can contact
Sure.
friends and family upon him not? Thank you,
Okay,
Judge.
let me just tell him about the victim contact. Sir, there is no contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case, who has the initials RG, okay? That means you can't do it in person, on the phone, texting, blogging, through social media, such as Facebook, liking anything, disliking anything. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And further, that also includes no contact via third parties. So the court's going to order no contact. The court will sign a phone order, and so you can access your phone, so you can bond out. Bond is set at $2,000, $1,000 on each count. Okay, sir? Good luck to you. Okay, put him on speaker. Okay, we have the attorney on the phone. Michelle's getting him. Yeah. This is paperwork. Where is it? Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay, we're going to recall the case of German Boguslavsky, okay, who is present at the podium at the main jail. State, announce your appearance for the record.
Eric Linder on behalf of the state.
Okay, and counsel, who's appearing via phone, can you announce your appearance, please?
Sure, Your Honor. Dennis Freeman, yeah, the defendant.
Okay, sir, Mr. Boguslavsky, you are charged with one count, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. The court does find probable cause. We need to talk about a bond being set, since right now there's no bond and he had to be brought to the magistrate court. So, State, tell us what you're asking for as far as bond.
Your Honor, I'm going to be requesting a $15,000 bond, no victim contact, pretrial release with a GPS monitor, with a further order that Mr. Boguslavsky not be in possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons until further order of the court. I am concerned for the safety of the community based on these allegations. First, the allegations that he attempted on multiple occasions to drive the victim's vehicle off the road when the victim had his 3 children in the car, 2 3-year-olds and a 1-year-old. And then, at another point after, he pointed a firearm at the victim while he was operating his motor vehicle. Your Honor, also noting as far as financial ability to pay, it does note that Mr. Boguslavsky was operating and driving a 2016 Lexus SUV.
Okay, defense, did you hear all of that?
I try to hear most of it. I'm actually at the mediation call gave us, Your Honor. I heard the state was asking $15,000 GPS monitor.
No firearms,
I certainly
ammunition,
have
and
no
weapons.
objection to no firearms. GPS monitor, if Your Honor deems that appropriate. The defendant has, I don't believe he has any criminal background. If he does, it was multiple years ago. He has a child here. He's certainly not a flight risk. I don't think he's a security risk. So the $15,000 bond, I think, would be inappropriate for him to be released on some recognizance based upon his stability to the community.
Let me ask you this, sir. I see an address here for your client as 231 174th Street. Is that northwest, southwest, or is that just how the address reads for your client? Let me ask your client. Is there a northwest or southwest to that
No,
address? So
No,
it's
ma'am.
just 231 174th Street, Sunny Isles?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where you live? That's your correct address?
Yes.
Okay. State, what's his priors?
One moment, Your Honor. Does pretrial have that?
He has a battery bodily harm adjudication withheld, 2006, in 2003 a DUI which was null pros, and in 2007 a criminal trespass. Then it goes back to 1997 with a retail theft which was adjudication withheld.
Okay. Did you hear that, counselor?
I didn't hear all of it. It sounded like there was a null process and an adjudication. details.
Okay, can you, Madam Pretrial, I'm sorry, he couldn't hear you on the
I'm
phone.
sorry.
We have it on the highest volume, I'm sorry.
No problem. In Illinois, 2006, a battery bodily harm, adjudication withheld. In 2003, a DUI, null pros. In 2000, a criminal trespass. And then 1997, retail theft, adjudication withheld.
So he has no conviction.
Nobody has a violent,
And this goes back over 10 years. Yeah, he's full-time employed, has a child. Firearm, or firearms, whatever it is.
what I'm trying to ascertain is, I am gonna do GPS level 2. It says the victim lives on Collins Avenue in Sunny Isles, and he lives on 174th Street. I was gonna do a minimum of 1,000 feet. I don't know if that is gonna create an issue, you know, if it's two crossroads. Does it seem to be a problem?
I wouldn't think so, and if it was, it would be coincidental if they happen to pass on, traffic light.
No, I'm talking about maintain 1,000 feet from the victim's residence.
Oh, okay, no, but I would have to confirm with her after that.
Looks like they're almost, the two locations are almost a mile apart.
Right, so I'll do 500 feet just to be safe. Okay, this is what the court's gonna do. The court's gonna set bond at $7,500. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials ID. That means, sir, no calling, no in-person contact, no texting, no social media, no liking anything, disliking anything on Facebook or any other social medium, and that means no contact through third parties. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, the court. Well, I actually was doing maintain 500 feet minimum from the victim's residence. From the residence of the home? Yeah. Okay, so let's get to, what does your client do for a living?
Chairman, would you describe to the court exactly what you do for a living, sir?
Security installations, surveillance cameras.
Okay, so court's gonna do GPS open schedule. Do you want me to call that too? Yes.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Okay, just hold on 1 second, sir. So do I have to say open schedule or GPS too? No, I want to do an open schedule where he doesn't need, you just know his whereabouts, where he is. And you can do a perimeter around the victim's residence. Okay, so go ahead, sir. Don't talk about the facts of the case, though.
Your Honor, next week, before the 17th, I have to be in Chicago for a couple of days to finish a job. Would you give me permission to travel to Chicago to finish a job for a couple of days? I don't have the tickets yet. I know it has to be before the 17th because the restaurant opens on the 17th of
Okay, how will
March.
we do that? I have no problem with him traveling out of state. I mean, he's asking the court, so how will we get him to take off the GPS and allow him to travel? How long are you going for, sir?
I'm guessing 2-3 days, and then I know in April, middle of April, there's going to be another trip to Las Vegas for a convention, probably 2-3 days also, but that's it.
As this order applies only to the upcoming, he has more than enough time to go before his assigned judge to seek permission to travel to Las Vegas.
Okay, defendant is allowed to travel to, you said Illinois?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and GPS? Okay. Was that, does he have the exact dates in March? He said no because he hasn't bought a ticket yet. So I'll just put in March. He can notify you when it is. in March 2018. And then I'll put future travel. So, Mr. Friedman, you're gonna have to get with this division judge pretty quickly
Yes.
to travel after trip. All right. Oh, hold on. I told you $7,500 bond, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so does anybody need clarification on anything?
I don't think so, Your Honor. The only thing I'd ask is when my defendant, let him know that I can, I'll call his friend who contacted me and advise him of what's occurred. And German asked you to call me on your release.
Okay, so if you could call your attorney upon your release, he's gonna call your friend who contacted him and tell them what occurred today, and I guess try to get them to post your bond, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye. Oh, sir, come back. One moment. We didn't do no firearms, ammunition, or weapon. Hold on. What's his number? I need to put on there no firearms, ammunition, or weapons. And on that order, the one.
Hello?
Hi, we forgot one thing. No your client is not to possess, and he's standing right here. No firearms, ammunition, or weapons.
Right, of course.
Case to maintain 500 feet from the victim's residence. Okay?
Of course.
All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, you want to add that in pre-trial? Thank you. I don't know if you checked the box or not. Okay, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Okay, Romaine O'Dean Wilson. Okay, good afternoon, sir. You're charged with count 1, dealing in stolen property. Count 2, false owner info for pawn items less than $300, and grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Your bonds are set at $10,000, $5,000, $5,000, so $20,000 total. Any objection to probable cause?
If I may have a moment, Your Honor, the state just handed me the affidavit to arrest.
Sure.
No argument regarding probable cause, Judge.
Okay, the court does find probable cause. Anybody want to be heard with regard to bond?
I'm asking that the court keep the bonds that Judge Fine set on the warrant. Mr. Wilson's criminal history: 2014 burglary of a structure, 2014 burglary of a structure.
So 2 different ones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
One was occupied. Actually, one moment, Your Honor.
that's all right. Go ahead.
And attempted robbery with a weapon, 2013.
Do you know what that's for? Okay, anybody want to be heard with regard to the $20,000 bond?
Yes, Judge.
Okay,
And speaking
Thank
of Mr.
you.
Wilson, he's 24 years old. He's been here his whole entire life. At this time, he is working. He does construction whenever he can. Judge, I know he suffered questions. And he's scheduled to have some procedure done next week, so it's imperative that he be able to be in a position to be out so that he could attend to his medical needs. Having said that, Judge, he lives in Fort Lauderdale. He lives with his mother. She resides at Publix. He graduated from Dillard High School, Judge, so he has substantial ties to the community. What I'm asking for is not pretrial release, because I understand what the state said as far as regarding his priors. What I'm asking for, Judge, is do you consider reducing the bond on count 1 to $1,000, on counts 2 and 3, $500 each? He believes that his mother can come up with $200 with the bonds and to pay the premium. So, Judge, we'd be asking you to consider setting, like I said, 1,000, 500, and 500.
Does he live at 1608 Northwest 16th Street?
Yes, that's where he is.
One 534 Northwest 11th Way.
Yes, sir.
Any apartment number?
It's a house, Judge.
Okay. 33311.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. What does he do for a living?
When he can, he does construction, but he's kind of suffered an accident. He suffered an accident to his head, and right now he's going through treatment. He actually has a medical appointment next week, Judge. I believe he's getting a CAT scan or something like that next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to pose a problem because I'm going to put him on a GPS level 2. I don't know if they can do that with an ankle monitor. So he can address it with this division judge. In any event, I'm going to put the bond at count 1 at $5,000 and in counts 2 and $3,000 each. And I had the clerk update his address to the 1534 Northwest 11th Ave. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Yep. Thank you. Okay, Christopher Robin Kyle, Kyhl.
Medical reset.
Markel Lucas. Is there a Markel Lucas? Thank you.
Mr. Lucas is approaching, Judge. He's here at me.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Lucas. You have a DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, $500 bond. You have DUI with an unlawful blood alcohol level greater than 0.15 or accompanied by a person less than 18 years of age. Bond set at $500 and $1,000, and then you have count 3, careless driving. We don't need to set a bond with that, and then you do have 2 probation violations, which you are going before your division judge, who is Judge Michael Usan, on March 13, 2018 at 9 a.m. So you're going to be held no bond on counts 4 and 5. Does anybody want to be heard with regard to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the court does find probable cause. Anybody want to be heard with regard to the bond for count 1 or 2, 500, 1,000?
Judge, considering he has a no bond hold and is going to be before his division judge on the 13th of December, we'll reserve any bond arguments for them.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck to you, sir. Jamie?
Mr. Jamie is here present, Judge at Maine. He is approaching.
Okay, Mr. Jamie, you have count one, possession of oxycodone, which is also known as Percocet. You have count two, loitering or prowling. Count three, resisting an officer without violence. And count four, operating without a valid DL. Count one has a $1,000 bond. Anybody have any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Court finds probable cause. Anybody want to be heard with regard to the $1,000 bond?
Judge, Mr. Jamie's going to be requesting to be released on standard pretrial. Before I go on, I'll see if the state action of that.
Does pretrial have any record? Because, I mean, I'm seeing he's driving a 2013 Genesis. Which is not a cheap vehicle.
Judge, we can't hear anything if someone's talking.
The DWIs were convictions in Texas.
Did you hear 2010?
2010 DUI in Texas, not
No,
conviction?
go ahead,
No,
tell
no,
them about
no.
the
Okay.
2010.
In 2010, assault causes bodily injury, family member. Another assault, family member, household member, impede breath circulation. In 2008, theft of property. In 2004, possession of a controlled substance. In 1995, 2003, and 2008, he had driving while intoxicated. Those were convictions. In 2011, possession of marijuana. In 2011, another driving while intoxicated. And in February 2018, a driving while intoxicated. That's history from Texas.
Okay, state.
Honor, from what, I think $1,000 bond is reasonable. I mean, you know, and
Anything else?
I don't have anything else, Your Honor.
Judge, he's 40 years old, and from what he's advising me right now, he's a friend of his is allowing him to stay at her apartment. Judge, he works at a tattoo parlor. He gets about $250 a week, so that's why he's not in a financial position to go ahead and post a monetary bond. So he's asking for pretrial release, or he would be supervised, Judge.
There's an address here, 1075 92nd Street, Bay Harbor Drive.
1075, 92nd Street, Bay Harbor Island.
Bay Harbor Island?
Yeah, that is my parents' house.
Is that Miami Beach, or that's the name of the city?
That's North Beach.
Okay, this address isn't right because it says number 604 Miami Beach, but then it has the 92nd, reads 1075 92nd Street, Bay Harbor Drive. I changed it to Island, number 604 Miami Beach.
Yeah, the 604 is the apartment number.
How can you have two street names? I mean, two towns in here.
It's not, it's Bay Harbor Island. They live off of, Bay Harbor Terrace, Bay Harbor Island, it's 1075 92nd Street, Bay Harbor Island. I can't really write this one. I'm in pain at the moment, and I wasn't thinking, I'm not trying to, like, mislead the board, Your Honor. I really have to.
What kind of car does he have, Mr. Romero?
Excuse me, Judge?
What kind of car does he have?
He doesn't have a car from what I'm been informed, Judge. I believe the vehicle in question is his roommate's.
Tell you what concerns me. He's by a school. Okay. Does he have any money in the bank? Or anywhere in the world? We can take a break, Ben.
Judge,
No problem.
Judge, from what he's advised me, he doesn't have any money in the bank, but however, he did tell me when he was arrested here, he had $300 in property.
Okay, court's gonna set his bond at $100 on count one. Rest are gonna be ROR, standard pretrial release. Court updated his address, okay? Sir, if you change your address or anything and you wanna do an order. No. I'll leave that to his division judge. Thank you. Mr. Reedy, you gonna do an order? He can access his property for the bond. Okay, Kevin Marcelo Gomez, and then we have Geraldi Martinez.
Gomez is a medical research, Your Honor.
Judge,
Yes.
Mr. Jamie, quickly, could you write an order so he can access his property?
Mr. Reedy has got it covered already.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Geraldi Jr. Martinez.
On to you, Judge.
Okay, and then after that's gonna be Arthur Cappies. Okay. At Conti, do we have a Geraldi Jr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am. He is in courtroom 6780.
Ask that this be reset for tomorrow morning.
Okay, the court's gonna reset it to 3:10. Do you have anybody else there, deputy?
Yes, ma'am. I have two people.
Okay, who do you have?
I have Danny White. He's on page 11.
Hello, Mr. White, how are you?
Okay, how you doing today?
Fine, thank you. You have burglary of a dwelling of a structure causing damage greater than $1,000. Any objection to probable cause? Okay, the court finds probable cause. Let's talk about bond.
Your Honor, we've had his co-defendants. This is a change of charge. It was upfiled from burglary of a dwelling
Okay.
to a punishable by life burglary with damage over $1,000. Originally, Judge Lerner Wren set bond at $15,000. I'm going to request that that $15,000 bond be placed back on Mr. White.
Okay, any objection to the 15,000?
No, Judge.
Okay, court's gonna set bond on this count, sir, which is an add charge, you said? Or change of charge, I'm sorry. It's a change of charge, so the court's gonna put it at $15,000. Thank you, sir, good luck to you, okay? Okay, deputy, which one, so you can leave?
Donald Barnett. Thank you.
You're welcome. Donald Barnett.
It's a 30.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a motion to release 30-day information has been filed.
Okay, sir, this was a motion for release. Fortunately for you, unfortunately, the state filed formal charges against you. Does anybody know what his bond is?
His bonds are now set at $1,100. Charges of grand theft and resisting an officer without violence were filed. $1,100 bond plus pretrial release GPS.
Okay, $1,100 total.
On these charges, he had a bond surrender on his other pending cases, so his total bond is.
Okay, sir, so just on, so you're only filing on the grand theft and resisting, not the retail and not the commit theft?
Correct.
Okay, sir, so initially you were arrested for 4 charges. State's
Yes,
only
ma'am.
pursuing the grand theft and the resisting. Bond set a total of $1,100 plus pretrial release. That's not including another case that you have, right?
It's multiple
Understand.
cases, total bond of $10,000.
Okay, so your total bond with this is $10,000.
No. With everything, it's $11,000.
Oh, $11,000, I'm sorry.
Ma'am, can we address some, I gotta, just something with the court, please, for 1 second. On case, I have a capious warrant on 2/26 that was issued that I went on 2/28 to court for. They added the charges, but they never released the warrant. That case number I have, can I get that case number to you?
Sure.
Because I have an active warrant on cases that I'm having arraigned, on
Tell me
charges
what
I've
the
been
case
arraigned on.
number is. We'll have,
1701-3349 CF10A. I went to court on the 28th.
okay, can somebody tell me, Ms. Commitment, if,
I'm looking at Odyssey right now, Your Honor.
okay,
There's no capious. Case number 17-13349 CF10A.
Yeah.
1701-3349
That's-
CF10A.
That's what I said.
I'm sorry.
There's no capious. The capious he's referring to, Your Honor.
Was it add charges on the 26th?
Well, hold on a second, sir.
Yes, sir.
He was ad charged. It's been served on him. He's been arraigned. He was arraigned 2 days later. It's not outstanding anymore. It's a moot issue.
I apologize. It's just
It's
showing
okay.
on the computer that it's still an active warrant to my fiance. So she's seeing that. So that's why I was addressing it.
I mean, what I would say, and I'm quite confident Mr. Reed would say the same thing. I'm showing John Downs as his public defender. That's probably who we should discuss this matter with.
All right. Thank you.
yeah, you had
I'll get a hold of Mr. Downs, have him come see you. Has he been up to see you?
No, sir, not yet. I got a hold of him about it, and he just wasn't giving me any straight answers, so that's why I wanted to address it.
I'll let him know that, I'll let him know you want to see him.
Ma'am, and you have me on a pretrial, you said?
On the 2 counts that were before the judge today.
Today, it's $1,100 bond for both felonies. So that means total plus pretrial release, okay?
Trial with the GPS?
Yep.
All right, is there any way to do an open schedule, ma'am? Because of my children and stuff, and I got a job.
All you have to do is set it before the division judge.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay,
Thank you,
have a
ma'am.
great weekend.
Have a good weekend.
You too. All right, who do we have here?
It's Capes, Arthur Capes.
Okay, are you Mr. Capes?
Capus.
Capus, I'm sorry, sir.
This
You have a
is-
bond surrender felony?
Yeah, it's a little unusual, Your Honor. I think what happened was from the time he originally posted his bond to now, there was a change of charge. Even though it really wasn't a change of charge, When he was arrested, it was failure to stop and remain in an accident involving non-serious injury.
So his bondsman turned him in because there was a change of charge?
No. He's being held on count 1. I don't know exactly why. I suspect it might be he picked up a new offense, but I don't want to speculate. All I'm asking, Your Honor, his original bond was $1,500. The reason it's at no bond hold is because after he surrendered him, it was a change of charge. It was treated as a change of charge to a hold for
So it was like
magistrates.
a new charge, yeah.
I'm just asking that, Your Honor, place the original bond was $1,500.
What else does he have pending?
$1,000 bond plus GPS, felon carrying concealed firearm.
I'm sorry, 1,000 GPS on a CCFW?
No, it wasn't a concealed firearm. It was a survival knife.
All right,
Hold on.
felon carrying a concealed weapon. It's still a third-degree felony offense either way.
Okay, so he has a $1,000 bond on he's on GPS for a carrying concealed weapon, right?
Yes, and all.
Okay, that's another case.
Yes.
This charge, he has leaving the scene of an accident with injury.
Which is the same offense.
You are asking for a bond of how much?
$1,500, which is the bond that was originally set at his first appearance when he was arrested on the same offense.
Can he afford a $1,500 bond?
Can you afford a $1,500 bond, Mr. Kappas?
Yes.
Okay.
What about the 1,000?
You know, there's 1,000 on the other count. It's a total of 2,500.
I get $1,370 every month SSI. I'm a retired physical therapist, 25 years. I've been living in Hollywood for 57 years, since 1960, since I'm 6 years old.
What's his prior state?
Your Honor, while I'm looking, I mean, if the reason I'm asking for the $1,500 to be kept where it is to modify it is essentially, I mean.
I understand, but we're here on a change of charge, so.
But it's not a change of charge, Your Honor. We filed the same offense that he was arrested for. I understand it's being treated as a change of charge. Here, if I can, Your Honor.
I went to a, can I say something, please?
Hold on, Mr. Kappas. Hold on just a second.
I'd like to say one thing. I went to an attorney already, and she told me that it hasn't even been filed yet, the non-serious injury bullcrap, because I didn't leave the scene. I came back.
Hey, sir, don't talk about the facts of your case. You're not helping yourself.
Okay, whatever.
This has nothing to do right now with your bond amount, okay?
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is quit while you're ahead. Okay.
Description where it has the statute numbers for each offense.
Yep.
The only difference is one has parentheses around the 2 and the A. It's the same offense that he was arrested for.
This court also has the authority pursuant to administrative order to address Mr. Kappas's bond on this count. And I don't know if we heard what his prior record
Let me
is.
hear what his prior record is. Let's just, I understand what you're saying.
Well, Your Honor, I can tell you while I'm looking that up. The possession of concealed weapon, he's been qualified as a habitual offender in that case.
What was that?
It's a 2018 case number.
B1817.
87, yes, ma'am. 2015 trespass, 2013 grand theft, 09 convicted on 2 counts of violating a domestic violence injunction, 09 possession of cocaine, 09 theft, 02 possession of alprazolam, 2000 aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, improper exhibition of a weapon, 97 carrying concealed firearm, 98 possession of cocaine, 98 carrying concealed weapon. Your Honor, I'm not trying to raise his bond. I'm just asking, and I know we've gone through this, and I know what the administrative order states. It states when there's an amended charge. And I could understand if it truly was an amended or downfiled charge, but it's not. And if it wasn't what I believe mistreated as a change of charge, he wouldn't even be before the court. He'd have the $1,500 bond on the bond surrender.
750 bond, GPS level 2. Thank you.
Okay.
Hold on, sir. Does he know what the total bond is? You want to call him fast?
Here he is. He's back, Judge.
Okay, you can tell him.
So your total bond is now $1,750.
You want him to be able to access his property?
Where is the money? Do you have any money in property?
No, it's in my bank. It's in my bank. I have a power of attorney written to somebody who's already not going to come
Okay.
back from Puerto Rico.
All right, sounds like you're good to go. All right, good luck, Mr. Kappas.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hopefully she doesn't take his money like the last person. Seriously. Is that it? Deputy at North Broward, who else you have?
No, I have 4 more.
Okay, then let us go to the main jail. Just give us one moment, okay? Okay, Mr. Romero, who do we have left where you are?
Judge, we have Mr. Jermaine Fuller.
Okay,
He's here
Jermaine
present.
Fuller.
He's on page 11 of your document,
Okay, Mr.
on the regular document.
Okay. Hello, sir, how are you? Good,
How you doing? How you doing, Your Honor?
thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
Okay, you have battery on an officer, firefighter, or EMT. Any objection to probable cause?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, court finds probable cause.
I
It says
believe,
please
Judge,
type
this
one.
is a change of charge capias.
Checking, the papers are sticking together today. Yes, it is. It's a capious change of charge. So we need to talk about
He's been
bonds.
in custody since, I believe, February 11th. I believe when he was originally magistrated, he was magistrated on a resisting with violence. His bond was $1,000. Now it's been changed. I believe it's still a lateral move, third-degree felony battery on an officer, firefighter, EMT, or et cetera, Judge. As you can see, he's still here in custody. He wasn't able to afford the $1,000 bond. He lives with his father in Sunrise, so his father can't afford a bond amount, so we'd be asking you to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
Your Honor, you granted an ROR on February 21st on this case with pretrial release GPS. I'm asking that same condition be placed on him.
I did GPS. Why is he still in jail?
That's what I'm going
He
to
had
ask Mr.
other,
Fuller.
he had other cases that have now been resolved.
Are they resolved now?
Yeah, it's got a no info on an obstruction of a highway and pretrial release already on a
So what's
misdemeanor
pending?
obstructing
What's holding
without.
this gentleman?
No.
This is the only thing holding.
This is a holding now, and Your Honor, again, I'm just asking the court to put the same release conditions on him on
Okay,
this case.
tell me what it is, Eric.
Pretrial release, I did, pretrial release of the GPS,
GPS,
level 2.
level 2, ROR. Oh, wait, I have standard pretrial, I thought. Wait, like monitoring GPS active.
Judge, I know this, I
How
guess
come
this
it
was
says
addressed in
report
February.
2 times per week by telephone? Okay, I see. All right, GPS level 2. That's it. Okay, next case. Who's the gentleman in the orange at the main jail? Come forward.
No.
Yesterday.
Okay, the gentleman at the main jail in the orange.
Yes.
What's his name? What's your name, sir?
Napoleon Wilson.
Okay,
He was the
Napoleon
gentleman that was
Wilson.
there from this morning, Judge. I believe someone in court was going to try and get in touch with his private attorney, Mr. Thomas Moat. I don't know if that was done, Judge.
Yes, I did try to reach Mr. Moat.
Oh.
I left a couple of messages. He has like an answering service, so I wasn't actually able to speak to him. I left the number of the courtroom phone. I haven't heard back. I think he called and left me.
Can we call him right now and just?
Yeah, we can call him right now.
You know what? Give me his number. Let me try.
It's this is the answering service. It's area code 305 374 6683.
Did you retain him on this, sir?
Huh? Did you retain him on this case? No.
Please remain on the line, and the next available representative will be with you shortly.
There's not any other number?
No, ma'am. But they did pick up pretty fast.
Thank you for calling law office. I'm going to assist you.
Yes, hi, this is Judge Malika calling for Mr. Moat. Is there any way we can get him on the line?
Not at this moment. This is the answering service speaking. May I take a message?
How about if you contact him and I hold? Or you
We're not allowed to. We send everything out by email.
Okay, then I'd like to leave a message that Judge Malika, Mollika, called him.
Mollika?
Yep.
Thank you. What's the best call?
I called and left a message. I just spoke to the answering service. We're gonna try him back again. I don't know what's happening, but maybe he's away for the weekend or he's in another trial or something. Did anybody speak to him, and does he know that you have court today, or?
No, ma'am.
He doesn't know you have court.
No.
Did you retain him yet?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, the only thing I can say is we can do one of two things. We can reset this for tomorrow. I'm not gonna be the judge, it's gonna be another judge. I don't even know who it's gonna be, but you can have this set for tomorrow, or we can just go ahead and have the public defender, for purposes of today, represent you. It's up to you. What would you like to do?
Okay. Let the judge know what you want to do. I will schedule it for tomorrow.
Okay, is there a person that you're gonna try to get a hold of? To get a hold of Mr. Moat so he knows to come to the Broward County Courthouse tomorrow?
Yes.
Judge, I'll make sure the ASA is aware that this case is being reset for a private attorney to be present.
Who? Oh, okay, I thought you meant this case. Okay, is there anybody that we can call? Maybe we can call the answering service back and tell Attorney Moats that I can call too, it doesn't matter. Tell him it's gonna be reset till tomorrow. Okay, sir, you do have a hearing on March 23rd, just to let you know, at 8:30 a.m. You're gonna come back tomorrow on 310. Hopefully, someone will be able to get a hold of your attorney.
Yes, sir. Judge, the last person
one moment, just give me one more second, I'm sorry.
Mr. Capone, right? Come on up, you're gonna be next as soon as the judge is done with that.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Romero, go ahead.
This is Mr. Vincent Capone, the last gentleman that you set for this afternoon. I believe, we reset him for purposes of trying to get in touch with his attorney, Mr. Scott Rubencheck.
Okay. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I know. You know what, I wish he would have answered, but who knows, he could be in a trial. Okay, did anybody get in touch with Scott Rubencheck?
I did. Mr. Rubicek is aware that Mr. Capone's bond is being revoked. He will not be joining us.
Okay. All right, so does Mr. Romero stand in for him, or?
I guess we can. I mean, there's not much to say. His bond is revoked, so.
Yeah, I am standing next to him, Judge.
Okay, so as far as this case goes, it's 15-15, 100.
I believe 125.
Okay, and this is without prejudice for him to go before his division judge.
I think that's what Mr. Rubicek plans on doing, Mr. Capone, is getting you in front of your division judge to address the issues of bond.
$15,000. Yeah. 15, 15, and 100. And then there's 25 on 4.
So the court intend to proceed with sua sponte revoking his release on 17-11054 CFNA.
I thought the court already did that.
Well, I didn't know if you actually went forward because I didn't know if you wanted to take any action without his attorney present.
Oh, okay. My conversation with the attorney is that he's aware that the bond was revoked. So I thought you had done it, and that's what I told him, and
But we held it at bay.
Okay.
We just held this before I handed the paper. So
I didn't prepare an order because I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mr. Rubicek seemed to be aware that that was going to happen.
I just have it on here.
Yeah, I'm going to prepare an order.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, great. He was ROR'd. He was on pretrial.
No, he wasn't.
He was ROR pretrial, right?
He was. I know, I know. That's why. He was ROR.
Welcome to my world.
So there were pretrial release conditions. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't concern pretrial, so you don't. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to worry about it. Yes. I don't believe so.
GPS
Oh, you
level
did?
2.
Okay.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the initials JWB. GPS level 2, and no return to the victim's residence. Is that good? All right. And then the 17-11054, I thought you said he was on ROR.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. All right. All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is, have a nice weekend, Mr. Romero. I think that's it.
Take care.
Okay. Okay, so we have Marlon Brown. We did, right?
Yes.
We did Quentin King. We did Donald Barnett. Let me go to North Broward. I think that's it. So, Deputy, you want to call the cases? Tell me who you have.
Kevin White. Keith White, I'm sorry.
Does anybody have a Keith White?
I see him on page 11 of our docket, but I don't know why, because it's a violation of probation.
Sure is.
And it says sent to his division already, Division FP. So I'm not sure why he's on. I'm not sure why you're on the docket, Mr. White.
Husan today, sir?
Huh?
Did you go to Judge Michael Husan today on your VOP?
I was supposed to, but they canceled it. I was supposed to go see them today over here, but I don't know, they got something mixed up over here and they canceled it.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can we set this before Judge Husan on Monday?
Please do that. Cause I don't know, I wanna come back in front of magistrate.
Yeah. Well, sometimes there are screw-ups, Mr. White. It happens.
It's a new procedure that we have, so. If they don't, I'm gonna set this before, ask Judge Husan to set this, or have you sent them. Monday, Your Honor. Okay, you're set for Monday, 9 a.m. before Judge Husan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir. Okay, who else do we have at North Broward? Anybody?
Yes.
Are we done with North Broward? What's your name, sir?
Simona.
I'm sorry, what's your full name?
Seymour Knight.
Oh, Seymour Knight. I'm sorry, sir. Okay, sir, we are here on a second look. Trespass, unoccupied structure, right here, Michelle.
What is it, a second look at the case?
Yes, sir.
I think we can resolve this, Your Honor.
He got a county sentence on his other two counts, the VOPs. When are you getting out of your county sentence, Mr. Knight?
In another week or so.
They gave me 30 days reinstate.
Okay. You want to take time served on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? I have no objection with ROR, and I'll tell you a couple reasons why. One, this involves a stolen vehicle, someone's stolen vehicle, but also, he just said he was reinstated. If this wasn't the basis of...
This happened after he was on probation? No, I see what you're saying.
All right, so the court's going to ROR you. Can someone tell me his address on this case? Michelle, can you look in the file?
What's your address, Mr. Knight?
3589 Northwest 14th Court, Lauderhill, 33311.
Is that what it is? Okay, Madam Clerk, we're going to have you update this. Can you say it slower? Or maybe you can... We just looked it up an hour, so it was the wrong one. I don't know if yours is going to be the same as mine.
3589 Northwest 14th Court, Lauderhill, 33311.
$35.89 Northwest 14th Court. Yeah. $33311.
Yes.
You have it? I wrote it on there. Oh, I had it on here too. Okay. Okay, sir, ROR, good luck to you. If you don't see if you miss your court date, you're gonna end up back in jail again. So you should get a court date in the mail. I updated your address to the 3589. If you change, it's your responsibility to notify immediately the clerk of court in writing. You understand?
Yeah, a court date for what charge?
For this trespassing an unoccupied structure. Does he have a court date yet?
No.
You know there's no victim contact, sir, with the alleged victim in the case with the initials LH. You agree to that, right? You have to verbally say yes. That means no contact by phone, third parties, in person, or anything like that, okay?
Okay, so What about the 30 days?
You have to finish your 30 days. This is something separate.
All right.
All
All
right?
right? But keep an eye out, because if they file this trespassing charge or you have to come back to court on it, you don't want to miss court.
Okay.
All right, thank you, good luck. Who's the next one, deputy? I think it's the last one.
We have two more.
Two more, okay. Hello,
Hello.
what's your
How you
name,
doing?
sir? Good.
Jermaine Anthony Lynch.
Okay, Mr. Lynch, you are here on a second look. You have drug paraphernalia possession. Is there any reason why he's still in jail? Is it just this, or?
Well, I imagine this was the, I'll check. This might not have been the only thing he came in on, but things change. If I just have one moment. If I could have one moment.
Huh?
If I could just have one.
What did you say, sir?
I thought it was a trespass.
You're Jermaine Lynch, right?
Yeah.
Says
With a G.
possession of drug paraphernalia. And trespass. So it looks like, it says 1 and 2.
You know what, Your Honor, I believe this is, Mr. Lynch might have, I don't know, certain.
You didn't show up for court when we had court, you had a $100 bond and you voluntarily refused and absented yourself.
I already did that. I already got that charge just handled. I swear I already got that charge handled.
You don't need to swear, it's okay. Is this the only thing he has, or what's going on? So let's get rid of it if he wants to get rid of it. If not,
And
want to resolve your cases today, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anything else pending?
No, not that I know of. I've already been to court for all of my cases. I didn't even know I had a drug paraphernalia case. I didn't even know that. I thought I went to court for that one. Because I know I did.
just concerned that it's not going to be too long before Mr. Lynch is back, going to the same 7-Eleven. It's mentioned that he's been arrested for trespassing at this same property 3 times.
Okay, you went before this 7-Eleven 3 times. Like, what's it going to take to have you not go back there?
I told the officer, me and the officer talked, and we already discussed that's not going to happen again. You know, this is the last only time, and we discussed that.
And that includes not going. You agree not to return to the parking lot, even?
Yes.
No parking lot, no going in 7-Eleven.
We discussed all that while we were detaining him.
I'll offer time served, no return, just as long as Mr. Lynch knows. Everyone has pretty good memories in this division.
Yes.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, your name is Jermaine Lynch.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's my understanding. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's my understanding you wish to waive your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication, put your hand down.
No, ma'am.
You can put your hand down.
Okay.
Have you ever been treated for a mental illness that would affect your ability to understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea to these charges could result in deportation proceedings and affect your ability to remain in the United States?
Yes, ma'am.
Understanding what I just explained to you, are you pleading guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Okay, and that's to possession of drug paraphernalia and trespass, occupied structure, or conveyance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, court's going to adjudicate you, time serve you. Court is going to impose $293 in court costs. The court will give you 1 year to pay that.
Okay, ma'am.
You are not to return, sir, to the 7-Eleven.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck to you, sir. You're done with this case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck. Don't go back there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, I only do it on one. Oh, okay, thank you. That's good, perfect. I should have said that. Hello,
Hello, ma'am.
what's your name, John Anderson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how are you today?
A little sad, but I'm all right.
I
To
know.
a degree.
All right, you have a charge of touch or strike battery. This number, 2000. Okay, what are we doing here, State?
Second look, Obama said at 1,000. It looks like part of the issue is they reside together.
Mr. Linder, Mr. Reedy, you want to inquire?
Where would you be living if you were released, Mr. Anderson?
If I was released, I would probably live at my mother's house, but I will only live there temporarily. I'm planning on moving back to New York. I came here for a little bit to try to get things together. I see it's not working out. I'm gonna take myself back to New York State.
Be able to stay at your mother's house until this case is resolved?
Yes.
And do you know her address?
Not off the top. I think it's 481.
Do you know her phone number?
It's Andrews Boulevard. The only person that has number to my mother's number is the person that I was living with, Miss Collins.
You have your mother's phone number?
No. If you ask Miss Collins, she'll be able to give you all the information, sir.
Isn't Miss Collins the alleged victim? No?
No, Miss Collins is not the victim. She's the
Do you
proprietor
have,
of the
do you have,
house.
okay, all right. What information would pretrial release need to verify his address? Okay. Did you hear that? We need the name and number from Miss Collins. We need her phone number. If you have it. You have her address?
I don't know her phone number. 3509 North Oakland Boulevard, apartment 102.
Hold on, slow down a second, Mr. Hold on, Mr. Anderson.
Does she own or rent, do you know?
She owns it. That's a condominium. She lives on the far right hand side of it. In the back, her apartment is 102. The same place that y'all picked me up from is her address.
What is her address? 3509 North Oakland Park Boulevard?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly the address. Her apartment is 102.
What's the city?
What's the city, ma'am?
Is it Oakland Park or Fort Lauderdale? Just tap it.
I think it's Fort Lauderdale. I'm not sure. I think it's Oakland Park or Fort Lauderdale. I'm not sure. I've only lived here 2 months. I'm not sure about certain things here.
Judge, running a background check, I've come across some information I think the court also took into consideration, or at the least should take into consideration now. Out of the state of New York, 6 times in the past, injunctions, orders of protection have been issued against Mr. Anderson. His criminal history...
Come on, DA. Are you serious?
2017...
Very serious. What are you saying his prior record is?
2000... Now I remember. 2017, criminal mischief, intent to damage property. I mean... Assault in the 3rd degree with intent to cause physical injury, 2016. Criminal mischief, intent to damage property, 2016. Assault in the 3rd degree with intent to cause physical injury, 2015. Criminal contempt, disobeying a court order, violating an order of protection, 2014. Criminal trespass, 2014.
Tell you what I have a concern with. He doesn't know his mother's phone number.
That's what he said.
May I please speak?
Don't talk. Just don't talk about the facts of the case, Mr. Anderson.
All right. First off, those charges that I've already been through.
Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about you not knowing your mother's phone number.
The reason why I don't know my mother's phone number is because I don't talk to her too often as it is anyway. We kind of have a strained relationship. But I know I'll be able to stay there until I'm able to get this case resolved, so I can go back to New York. Because I'm not staying here. I don't want to sit up here and go through all the rest of this. I'm here for something that I didn't even do. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact that I was implicated for no reason at all.
Don't talk about the facts of the case, Mr. Anderson. That's not the purpose of this hearing.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry, counsel. I'm sorry.
No, just that everything you say is being taken down, and you don't even want to put yourself at the scene of the crime if you don't have to. So,
If we weren't here for a battery, if it was a drug offense, a DUI, a theft, I get it. But we are here on a battery offense where the court's found probable cause. And judges on 6 prior occasions in New York have had to issue injunctions, orders of protection against him.
I was living on the streets in New York City. I had to sit up there and fight in shelters. That's all I have to say. I was living in the streets of New York City. I had to fight in shelters. Those men were going to physically harm me. I defended myself, and they called the cops. That's all I have to say.
well, hold on, Mr. Anderson.
And understand, and the reason I note it's significant that judges reviewed the cases and determined it was appropriate to order injunctive relief. He's been convicted for violating a no-contact order in the past. And I haven't even got through,
That is unfounded.
Mr. Anderson, the state is talking right now.
I've only gotten through the most recent couple of years, 2 assaults with intent to cause physical injury. And as I said, we're here in a battery with someone that he knows where she lives because they resided together.
Okay, this is the thing. We did a $1,000 bond and standard pretrial release pending verification. Did you find anything with regard to this address? Okay, so he's gonna sit in jail for forever until he resolves his case because he can't verify his address. And I'm not saying that good or bad, but we're just going round and round. He doesn't know an address. Michelle pulled up an address here. We went to Broward County Clerk. Can you do Oakland Park? Try that.
Your Honor, if a $1,000 bond is appropriate because there's a violent offense and someone has violence in their past.
I'm not talking about the 1,000. I'm talking about verifying an address.
I understand, but I am talking about the 1,000 because I'm asking that the $1,000 bond be kept in place.
I know.
And
but I'm only up to where he's going to live. We're not even there yet.
well,
Excuse me, Magistrate, may I please make a suggestion?
Hold on one moment. What did you say, Madam Pretrial? Okay, pretrial is saying they spoke to you. You went to bond court on March 6th. Pretrial is saying they called you on March 7th and you told them that you did not have a verifiable address.
The only verifiable address is the original place that I was living at. I keep telling y'all I am homeless technically without my mother or I was paying rent there. You get what I'm saying? And I personally, like I said, I did not do anything to this woman, and I'm...
Do not discuss the facts of the case, Mr. Anderson.
I'm sorry, counsel. I'm sorry. But
all right,
I feel compelled this way because I know for a fact that I'm sitting here having to face time or facing a judicial system for no reason at all. And it's unfounded, it's not right.
That may be, but that's not the reason we're here today.
Okay, let me focus on what it is.
3509 Oakland Park Boulevard.
is the only address
Oh.
that I have verifiable. If you can,
There's a park there.
Mr. Anderson, calm down. The judge has got something to say.
This is north.
Listen. Some time, put me in another place. I don't care.
Are you sure it's Oakland Park Boulevard, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me your mother's name.
Lori, LORIANDERSON.
Anderson?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, LORI?
Yes. Judge, the
Hold
Rachel
on.
Collins.
Just hold on. Does she live in 35 Gold Decker Road, Egg Harbor City, New Jersey? Is that another address?
No, not at all. My mother has lived in Florida for the last couple of
It has
years.
Alan Anderson and Lori Anderson.
Alan Anderson and Lori M. Anderson. My mother's middle name is Marcette. Is it Lori M.
Doesn't say.
Anderson?
This is Opal Towers.
No, there should be somebody named Tom Kissel, which is who she's living with.
How do you spell that?
TOM Thomas Kissel, KISSEL.
It is a 491 Northwest 49th Street, Oakland Park, Florida.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Thomas Kissel, Lori Anderson, right?
It just says
They should
Thomas,
both.
just in his name.
Yes. That's exactly it. That's where my mom lives, on Northwest 49th. Yes, absolutely right. 481 or 491, right?
481.
Yes.
Okay, Madam Pretrial, is there any way to send somebody out there, or do they do that, or how do we do this? I'm gonna print out the first page of the deed for you, okay? I'll print out the first page of the deed, okay? Yes.
Ridiculous. I ain't even strike this one.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about the $1,000 bond.
Honey, Mr. Anderson, to post bond?
For $100?
I can't pay it.
Do you have
What
any
about
money at all?
someone else?
Any bank accounts, anything like
I
that?
have no money at all. I've been living here in Florida for 2 months, as I reiterated before, and I am homeless. I have welfare. It does not even have enough to sit up there and pay for that. And it's welfare from New York City, so I don't even know if it's valid here. So I'm done. There's nothing I can do.
Okay. Is there any way I could have pretrial get back to me on this and tell me about the pending verification, and we can follow up with this, or should we just reset this? Because I want you to check. Yeah, yeah. And maybe you can get the mother's number and give it to Mr. Reedy, and we can delve into this a little bit more. So can I reset this for Monday or Tuesday? How much time do you need? Wednesday? You tell me.
She just released me on my own reconnaissance. I didn't even hurt
We're
this
not,
woman.
we're not doing that, sir. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna how about Tuesday, okay? So we'll reset this, sir. Tuesdays is 3/13/18 at 1 p.m. Right here, Michelle.
Take that over and change this to say that it does not release or verify to use.
Yeah, dude, it's issued some time.
You already signed it, I just wanted.
That's fine, I trust you. If that's what you want me to do, yeah.
No, I was trying to make sure for confinement status, what kind of, because I wrote pre-trial editing verification. Okay, if not verified or released, reset Tuesday. Okay with that?
I mean, if you verify and then he posts the bond and you can verify it, then he can get out. We're not gonna hold him, but if he can't. No, the reason why I said 100 was because it's $1,000 bond, 10%.
So you're leaving the bonds the same?
Yes, everything's still the same. So maybe you can get a phone number for Mr. Reedy as well. All right, sir, we're gonna have to get in touch with your mother. Someone's gonna have to go out there. All right? It's the way it is. You have too many priors. I understand what you're saying, and I want you to talk about them. But there's just too many priors that you have coming out of New York. So that's why we have to verify your address, okay? It's the way it is. We'll see you Tuesday. If that doesn't pan out, we'll have to talk about something else potentially. When is he set for court?
Just arrested on the 5th.
Did they file,
It's not gonna get filed within 4 days.
okay.
I would like to request a speedy trial.
Okay, you have to speak to the public defender about that.
Can you have my public defender call me as soon as possible?
Speedy trial's already running, Mr. Anderson. It'll continue to run unless you ask for a continuance.
What does that mean exactly?
It means the clock is running already.
All right.
Okay, so your speedy trial time, you haven't given up your speedy trial rights.
All right.
Okay, so it's still going. It's still going.
Okay, what happens at the end of this if you can't find a conclusion of some sort?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
What he's saying is, what happens if his mother doesn't verify her?
Well, we're going to bring you back on Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, we'll have an answer for you on Tuesday. All right, good luck, man. We'll see you Tuesday afternoon.
All right.
Thank you. Correct?
Yes, ma'am, no one is.
Okay, no one at Conti, no one at Paul Ryan, and no one at the main jail. Okay. Competency? Okay, let's go off the record. I would send her an email. She'll, please be advised we had this person. In first appearance court. You know what, just forget about telephone. But you can leave this here. You gotta clean up. Thing or a bad thing? Huh? Okay, we gotta clean up.
You wanna leave this here, or can I take this?
I want you to take it. Thank you very much, ladies. Have a great weekend. I locked it already. Mr. Bailiff? Yeah, I'd leave them up there for the weekend. Leave wherever the magistrate judges. We need more post-it notes. Huh? What? Oh, okay. Which one? The mail? Okay. That's whose seat I won. Mary Red Robinson. Great. Really? God. Good. Okay, so I just want to clean. This we're going to put in that book.